Currently in my lowest gear. Oh, thought I was. Okay, so we can go up to low. Okay, good. We can go down to high. Nice. Alright, so this is Morley Avenue. Now, if you're trying to get to the university and you have a bus pass, then a really good option is to go down here along Morley and catch a bus at the station down at the end there. In winter, that's really the best move for getting to school, at least in my opinion. You don't have to worry about catching some little local bus to get you to the bus stop. I mean, they are infrequent. They're pretty predictable. They arrive when they're supposed to, but it sucks waiting around 25 minutes just to catch some 5-minute bus ride. Once you get to the bus stop, though, the buses are very frequent, so you only have to wait like 5 minutes maximum. And you get an express bus that barely makes any stops on its way to university. In total, it's like a 30-minute trip, which is pretty good. See, bus stop. But on a day like this, I'm just gonna bike the whole way. This is the Southwest Rapid Transit Corridor. And I'm on the bike and walking path that runs parallel to it. It's in pretty good shape today. Sometimes it'll get a little more built up with snow, ice. I think it's all bumpy to ride on and it's not that nice. But today it's looking good. I've got a bit of a nasty south wind going right in my face. Guess I'm just gonna have to deal with that. At least the air is warm. All right. Now here we have Jubilee Station. Now, unless I'm mistaken, this is the final rapid transit station on the rapid transit corridor. I think? No. Yeah, so rapid transit continues. It'll cross over Portage, and then it turns out west. Yeah. Take a little look at it now. So, any buses that go to the university will split off and turn left here. But the route does continue along here. And I don't think any buses are active here yet. But in the near future, the rapid transit corridor will be able to take you along here out to Waverly area. There are at least 2 new rapid transit stations out that direction that are still waiting to be operational. Okay. So pretty soon up here we'll be making the transition to the road biking section. In the last few years, the city has added some bike lanes here to accommodate people like me. Now, this is basically a glorified sidewalk. Hopefully I don't see anyone walking on it right now. And yeah, out here, we pop out into the road. At this point, the bike route technically ends. And now I'm just in traffic. About biking along this route, that, in my experience anyway, people have been surprisingly generous to cyclists. The weather is not so generous. But motorists are really good about giving space. I've never been hassled on them though. Can get a little sketchy in a situation like this where I want to maintain my position in one lane and you have cars and trucks. Yeah, I want to go on the right like that. It can be a little uncomfortable to have cars and trucks on the right side of you instead of the left. You need to make sure that you stay in your lane. Driver is probably a little more aggressive than they needed to be. To be honest, I still have plenty of space. Alright. Worst part of this route, this spot right here. There's a big row of parked cars. So when I'm biking in this lane, it really limits traffic to one lane. Kind of sucks for cars. But I've got to make sure that I leave space for people opening their doors. Phew, that was closer than necessary. Whew. The wind is taking the juice out of my legs. should gear down. Alright, now I get a bike lane back. It's not that pleasant. All the rocks and the gross stuff from the road kind of collect over here. It's okay. This part of the route, main hazard, comes in the form of these weird bus stop bike lane interchanges. So, see, the bike lane comes up here and goes on the inside of the bus stop. I don't know whether that's a Winnipeg thing or like standard thing. I think it's a little sketchy. I get the idea, so that you can load buses and not get in the way of cyclists. But the truth is, you still get in the way of cyclists. I gotta gear down. Because when this platform thing fills up with people, they spill out onto the bike lane. And there's something that complicates that even further. People on the bus usually have headphones in, and they're usually looking at their phone. And that means that they don't see you when you're coming on a bike, and they also don't hear you if you yell or ding them. So yell during rush hour times. Sometimes have to play pedestrian slalom to avoid hurting anybody. Alright, so that's it for the Pembina portion. This little loopy-loop here is what you do so you can get onto the rest of the bike route. So from here on out, I'm taking the stadium route to school. It kind of goes under the Bishop Grannon Bridge and then takes a back lane through some old, I think it was golf course area, and approaches the university from the north. So if you're riding your bike to a Bomber game in the summer, coming from this direction, this is the route you would take. It's nice, it's calm, you get to go by the river a little bit, and it's a fairly direct route to get to the middle of the university. You don't have to deal with that bridge over there where Pembina goes over Bishop Grannon. You don't have to go way out to where Pembina touches Chancellor Matheson. Surface conditions could be better. So, welcome to Winnipeg. Cyclists have to worry about potholes too. Especially when your main shock absorber is a soft spot that you sit on. And here we go, we get back on the bike route. Do a skid on this ice. I don't think I did it. And brakes are a little wet and weak. Maybe I can catch a patch of ice later on. Okay, so here's a little stretch where the bike path becomes a little treacherous because it doesn't get used that much. So it's not worn down to bare pavement. So it's got a bunch of little indents from people's feet. Those get wet and freeze. So kind of like a minefield. Gotta be careful on that. I like to just like stand up and let the bike bounce around underneath me. Ooh. If you take all those hits right on the butt, you're gonna be in pain. If you have a mountain bike with suspension and stuff, you can worry about that a little less. Now we're in the neighborhood of, I don't know. It's kind of a neat little spot though. I think a lot of the street names around here are named after universities. And I think a lot of houses were built in like the 60s and 70s. Don't know much about architecture, so I can't say it for sure. Seems like the kind of place that university professors might have lived. Back then. Because these houses look like they would have cost quite a bit at the time they were built. Yeah. Alright, back to minefield. And it gets worse. So here's the little back lane through the old green patch that might have been golf course at one point in the past. And it is bumpy as a bad simile. Yeah, my bike's shaking like crazy. This would be an excellent spot to have spring suspension on your bike. But I don't have that. Well, yeah, this looks like gravel, but it's just all bumpy ice. I think the university is trying to really do something with all this space back here. For as long as I've been coming to the university, this has been a whole bunch of nothing, really. A few years ago, they did some stuff way out there on the other side of University Crescent. That was when the Bombers were moving into the new stadium And they added a bunch of stuff to allow buses to come and go really easily. But on this side of University Crescent, it's just been a bunch of grass and walkways. If you go there in the summer, you can usually see a deer running around, which is kind of neat. They're pretty nonchalant. It helps that no one's allowed to shoot at them in the city. All right, we're at the university. So there you go. If you've ever wanted to bike to university in the winter, that's how you can do it. It is not as pleasant as the summer route for sure. You do still need to be a bit of a crazy person. It's in those spots where you're on the road with traffic. If it's cold and slippery out, that's probably a dangerous thing to do. On a day like this, it's pretty safe though. Ooh. All right, let's get it. Wait. Ooh, squirrel.